everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today's video will be a video that has been highly requested since I think I started YouTube. In the duration of this video you will hear a lot of noise. Mia is playing in the background, so excuse her. So I hope you guys like the change of background. I feel like the stone wall was getting a little boring, so I changed the background a little bit and hope you guys like it. Comment down below if you want me to go back to the stone wall. Also, I was playing with makeup today because I am highly bored in self-quarantine right now, so I know I look crazy, but you know, I tried. Makeup is not my thing, obviously. But anyways, today I will be telling you guys how I learned Korean. This video has been requested for a very long time, but I've never really gotten to do it just because like how I learned is all over the place. Like the way I learned is not just one way. I learned in so many in so many ways that I hesitated to make this video because I didn't want people to think like this is the only way you can learn Korean. But I realized there are so many videos of how people have learned Korean. Everybody's completely different. How I learned is probably not how you're gonna end up learning, but it's good to just share and tell you guys my experience with learning Korean. So if you did not know, I do know Korean, which kind of impossible not to know if you're on my channel because like my channel only focuses on Korea. I don't really focus on other things, but yes, I do know Korean. I am not, well, in some sense I'm fluent, but in some other senses I'm not fluent. And what I mean by this is I live in Korea. I'm able to get around by myself. I don't need anybody helping me to get around, to get the message around. But obviously on the other sense of that, there's some things in Korea that I don't understand when people are talking to me, especially like these days. I watch the news every morning. And right now actually the news is on, and when they're talking, like I think I understand only 60% of the news, while as if I was watching like a Korean drama or a Korean TV show, I understand like 90 to 95%. So as I said before, there are certain things that I do understand, and in certain ways I am fluent, but in certain ways that I'm not fluent. So basically I will tell you guys how I got to this. So let's start to the beginning of Paris and Korean. So basically I had interest in Korean culture for a very long time. I was one of those like OG like I like Korea, I like K-pop, I like K-drama, like, you know, when we lived in a little fairy tale worlds where we thought everything was perfect, and it was not. Sadly, when you become an adult, you realize it's not. I used to be obsessed with watching Korean drama, guys. Like, not a joke. I was obsessed with watching Korean drama, obsessed with K-pop. Like, back in the day, I was like the definition of K-boo. Like, that was me. But back then, I didn't really learn the language, like, properly. Like, I was interested in the language, but I was really young. So, like, there was no way my parents were gonna be like, oh, like, we'll sign you up for Korean language classes. That wasn't happening. I had zero Korean friends back in the day. Well, actually no, back then pen pals were really big, so I had a few pen pals in Korea. And to be honest, back in the day, I like literally I didn't learn anything from my pen pals because I taught them way more English than they would ever teach me Korean. So pen pals didn't really help. When I officially started like learning Korean was when I was in college, and I had to take 2 Korean classes. So I took 2 official college classes, and then I studied abroad in Korea, and I went to Yeondae and I took the KALI course. I did not come to Korea for Korean. I was only enrolled in 1 Korean class, which was the worst decision I've ever made in my life in school, but that's another story. But I took KLI, and I also had other classes for my major that I had to take in Korea. So now, how did I feel about those classes? So for me, I think classes didn't really help, in the sense that when I was in college in the US, when I took the 2 classes, my teacher spoke in English most of the time, and like it's college level, so I was kind of like, you should be speaking in Korean, but whatever. The speaking aspect of that was a fail. Like, she didn't help me in anything. But book wise, I did learn a lot of grammar and a lot of vocabulary from taking those 2 classes. And then when I went to Yeondae, by the way, Yeondae is Yonsei University. Yonsei, and then Dae comes from 대학교. So Yeondae. So I'm gonna keep saying Yeondae. Anyway, so when I went to Yeondae, I took KLI, which was, as I said, the worst decision in my life because I feel like I learned absolutely nothing. The course was super accelerated, and for me, I need somebody to be able to explain everything when I have a question, you know? So it was like definitely not worth it taking that class. And for the people who are thinking in enrolling in KLI and Yonsei, I would say don't do it because it was absolutely, well, do it if you think you can do it, but for me it was absolutely useless. But this is where I got the most help from. Ah, she's playing. That's what she's doing. She's playing with this, by the way, guys. That's why she's jumping around so much. Mia, can I record? This is what helped me learn a lot. You can, you know, study books and do all these things, but to be honest, that does not really help you improve, especially your speaking. Speaking and listening are my strongest points, and obviously to learn speaking and listening, you can't take a class. You cannot take a class and learn how to speak and listen if it's just books, right? So for me, back in college, I had a dance team, and the dance team had some Korean kids in it. So I used to practice my Korean with them. Like when I had homework, they would help me out. And also another big factor, back in college, I also had a boyfriend who was Korean, and he didn't really speak any English just because from what I noticed, his job didn't need any. His job kind of needed English, but even then it was like things he repeated every other day. So like he didn't really know English well. He was still learning also, and also me, I was still learning my Korean. But because I was with him for like 2 years, we ended up helping each other a lot on the language aspect. Now obviously I did not date this guy to learn Korean. That would be very rude, very like fetishy, and just very like using a whole person just to learn their language. But I'm just being honest, it did help me to have a boyfriend at that time, and he's probably one of the people who helped me the most in learning. It was literally Korean 24/7 when I was with. And also, before somebody goes, oh my god, you used your boyfriend, he approached me. I don't approach guys. I've never approached a man before in my life. So before you guys say I looked for a Korean boyfriend so I can learn Korean, no, I didn't. And then something that really helped me, like in the beginning, was watching Korean drama. For me, Korean drama helped a lot. Like I remember me and my roommate back in like college, we would sit there and just watch Korean drama. But when I watch Korean drama by myself, I try to watch with Korean subtitles, not English subtitles. After college, I came to Korea right away. If you're in Korea, well, if you care, like I know a lot of my friends don't even know like a lick of Korean, but for me, I live by myself. I had to get my house by myself. All these things I had to do by myself, and for me to survive, I knew my Korean skills would be important. So I also, like, you know, practiced with my daily life now. Like I live in the country that, you know, this language is spoken 24/7. I don't go out and expect people to know English. Like if you know English and I meet you outside in Korea, like kudos to you, like that's amazing. But I never, like, I'm not one of those foreigners who goes up, I hate when people do this, who goes up to like Korean people and expects them to know Korean. I don't do that. I do have to say that now that I'm living in Korea, my Korean has definitely gotten a lot better, but these days it's gotten a little worse because I am in self-quarantine and there's nobody around in my house speaking to me in Korean. Only Mia is the only person I can speak to in my house. Obviously this girl ain't gonna reply and be like, meow, not gonna reply. They're like my tips. Having Korean friends will also help, and I know it's really hard to make Korean friends. Like I've been there, done that, you know. It's hard, but if you can, yeah, making Korean friends would definitely help you because you can practice with them. Now don't be the one who's only wanting to speak to your Korean friends in Korean if they're trying to speak in English. That becomes weird very fast, by the way. So yeah, making Korean friends, or if your partner is Korean, trying to ask your partner to speak to you in Korean most of the time. That can help also, and of course Korean drama also. That is basically how I learned Korean. Now my advice to people who want to learn Korean is only learn Korean if you're actually serious about wanting to learn, if you're serious about Korean culture, if you're serious about, you know, maybe one day living in Korea. If that's your goal, then learn Korean. It is a lot more helpful to learn a language if you're passionate about the culture, the people, or the language, or whatever. It is a lot easier that way. Another thing is, don't rush yourself when you are learning. For me, I learned better because I learned for a duration of a time. I never told myself I'm gonna take this class and be fluent by the end. I never did that to myself. So don't rush yourself. And another thing is, don't rely on books. Books are not the only way you can learn. You can learn Korean in so many different ways. It is 2020. There are so many other ways you can learn Korean. Anyways, if there are other videos you guys want to hear about my learning experience of learning Korean and stuff like that, comment down below. I will also be answering comments. So comment down below any questions you guys have. A lot of people have also been wanting me to make a video on how to make Korean friends, and I can do that, but I hope y'all don't think I have like 70 Korean friends, because that's hard out here. But anyways, whatever videos you guys want me to make next, comment down below and I'll be reading the comments and replying. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Don't forget to also click the bell down below in order to get notifications when I post. Notification gang, what up? Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye guys. Bye guys. Oh, and also never mind.